much have you had to drink?
To drink?
Be honest. Don't lie to me.
I drank this morning.
Welcome back to Advocacy Alchemy with Professor Ross. Today we have a good one, guys. Let's head to Lombard, Illinois, a quiet Chicago suburb where a seemingly small decision led to major chaos. A driver made an ill-timed U-turn at a busy intersection, causing a 3-car wreck. It turned out she was over the legal blood alcohol concentration, that's the BAC, limit and failed the field sobriety test. This incident highlights the serious legal consequences of impaired driving, especially when it involves property damage. Today we'll dive into the body cam footage, analyze the laws at play, and explore how the legal system evaluates evidence in cases like this.
I was going straight and this car was making a left and hit me.
Nobody in there?
No, she's the only one.
All right.
That's her hair.
Oh, jeez. You guys have any idea? She have any an account
She
of what
said
happened?
that she was going that way and somebody
Going
took a
this
left.
way?
That's what she said. She's going this way and somebody took a left-hand turn. So, I'm going to go back and talk to her. But she was very amped up.
Okay.
So now that she's calm, we're going to go ask her again. There's 2 or 3 vehicles?
3. There's going to be... I don't know if that one's involved. You have to get up.
I only got
3
3 cars right now.
Got it.
That's all that
I'm aware of.
Okay.
Give me a quick rundown of what people are saying.
Well, I only talked to him. He's saying he's going eastbound, light's green. He's in the curbside lane. He said I don't know whether or not, he's like, I think the guy was making a U-turn. Doesn't know whether or not he's coming westbound or southbound and blowing the red. Car gets hit, ends up hitting him.
Well, she's saying that she was going this way and somebody took a left in front of her.
So that's that car.
Because all her damage is all on her passenger side.
On her passenger side. So I would say nothing, right? I think we got an idea here. On the passenger side?
Making a left.
So I went, I thought everything was okay, but there was another car right in front of me. They were making the left turn as I was making the left turn, so we were both right in the middle. And then that's when I went. Then all of a sudden the car coming from my right side, they hit me. Do you know what I'm saying? You understand?
So you're at the lights.
Yes, I was
you're
coming
making
from
a
the
left.
plaza, right? I was at the light. I was making a left turn. There was another car that was at the intersection. They were making another left turn. We were both making left turns.
So hold on. Just stop right there. So there's 2 left turn lanes. Right?
Yes.
Okay, which left lane were you in?
I was going this way. So on the opposite side, I was supposed to be going straight here. I was supposed to keep going straight on this road.
And when you make that left-hand turn, do you have a green, red, yellow?
It was green.
It was green.
Yes.
Green arrow?
It's green, yes.
Green. Okay. So what you're saying is the car that hit you ran the red light.
No, there was no red light. It was like, like not the yield, but it was not the green arrow, but it was the green light. Meaning that like you can still keep going even if there's nobody else coming from the opposite side. You know what I'm saying?
No, not really. You understand?
You know what I mean? Like how when you're turning at the intersection, how the arrow stops, but it's still green.
Okay, so you had a solid green light.
Yeah, but not the arrow, but the green light.
Okay, I got that part.
Yeah.
So you're turning left on the green light, and you're saying the car from the opposite traffic light direction was coming this way and ran the red light that they had.
I don't think they had a red light. I think it was still green.
So can I ask you something? How can you have a green light and the other people have a green light? You got your phone?
Yeah, let me look at the Google map. Sorry, give me 1 second. Yes.
How much have you had to drink?
To drink?
Be honest. Don't lie to me.
I drank this morning.
Okay, how many?
Like a glass of wine.
So I can smell it.
Okay.
I just want to make sure, that's all. What time?
It was like 11 a.m.
11 a.m.? What time is it right now?
It's like 4. Almost 5. So I went to Lover's Lane here on the intersection. So there probably was not a light or anything. But what I'm saying is, though, that I was at the intersection
Which
making
intersection?
a
Show
left
me right
turn. Yeah.
You see how this is not making sense? So you're zoom into Lover's Lane really quick. You're saying you're at Lover's Lane, right?
Yeah, so I was here and I was coming this way.
So how? But this is in Lombard. You're not even in Lombard.
No, but what I'm saying is that this is where I am. I came from this way.
I gotcha. But this is what I'm trying. Can I take this phone? Do you mind?
Take it.
All right. Let me ask you this. You're on 38, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're coming towards. Where do you live?
Oh, and
Where were you headed?
I'm going to home.
You live?
But I was just out here for the day. I went to the store.
You're at Lover's Lane. In Lombard.
Mm.
Okay. You live in. You're on your way home. You see how
I
this is
don't
not
live
making
in
sense?
Lombard.
I know that. You live in. Right? Is that correct? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're coming from Lover's Lane in Lombard, and you're going to where you reside. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's why I'm asking you. Why did you continue westbound on Roosevelt Road?
That's how the directions told me. I was coming from this way. It told me keep going this way. So that's why I make the turn.
Okay,
That's
so
how I
you're
make
going.
it.
So you are going. You know what I think happened? Can I be honest with you?
Okay.
This is what I think happened. What I think happened is you're going westbound on Roosevelt Road. You get up to this light. Okay? You get up to that light. And you missed your chance to get on 355. So what you did is you made a left-hand turn to make a U-turn to turn back around. Does that sound about right?
I didn't miss my exit, no.
Okay, don't forget about the exit. Did you make a U-turn to
No.
turn back around?
No.
That's Lover's Lane.
Yeah.
That.
And then I turn left here
Okay.
and keep driving. Yeah, I was here at this light.
Okay. Then what'd you do?
Yeah, I turn around.
You made a U-turn
Yeah, around.
because it told you to go back here onto 355. Correct?
Okay.
So as you make that green, this is why it makes sense. So you have a solid green light. Correct?
Yeah,
So
it
you're
was
like,
green.
oh, let me go ahead and turn back around.
It was green, yeah.
Which means that other eastbound traffic also has a green light. So as you made that turn, you got traffic coming towards you, which makes sense. They hit you on the passenger side door, and you caused an accident. Does that make sense?
But
We're on the
I
same
have
page?
the
We're on
green
the same
light
page.
though, but nobody was coming at the same time. At the same time, though, the car speed right past me.
Do you mind if I run you through some tests just to make sure you're okay?
That's fine.
Okay, come on. This way. Come this way. How do you feel right now, though?
I feel fine, but I feel a little dizzy after being hit.
Did the medics check you out?
Well, no, I told them I'm fine, but
Okay,
it's
so you
not
told
that
me you
big of
feel
a
fine.
problem.
You want to go to the hospital?
Well, no. I don't want to cause any problems
No,
for
I'm just
anybody.
asking. I want to make sure you're okay.
I'm fine. I don't want to cause any problems.
You have gum in your mouth?
No,
What are you chewing on?
I'm not chewing anything.
Oh, it looked like you were chewing something.
No, it was just a spit.
So you're okay. Obviously, a lot's going on, right?
I'm okay. It's just stuff like
Scratch.
Just scratches.
So medics checked you. You refused to go to the hospital.
They didn't check me, no, but I told them I'm fine.
You refuse to go to the hospital. Right?
It's fine.
Okay, fair
whatever.
enough. Put your feet together, arms to your side. You see the tip of my finger? Lower your chin. You see the tip of my finger? You see it, yes or no?
Yeah, I see.
What I want you to do is follow the tip of my finger with your eyes only and keep your head still. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm okay.
You have to go to the hospital.
No, I'm
It's a
okay.
serious question.
No, I'm okay.
What are you grabbing? Tell me what's going on so I
No,
understand.
it's okay. It's okay.
Are you
it's
pregnant?
fine.
I'm just asking. I gotta ask. Or
I
why are
better
you,
not be
That's fair. Why are you holding your stomach?
because I'm in pain.
You're in pain?
Yes.
You feel like you have to see medics?
It's fine. No.
You sure?
Really, it's okay.
Trust me.
I'm okay.
Your health is
I
more
don't need
important
to
to
see
me.
anybody. I'm okay.
Okay, fair enough. Next, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine a straight line in front of you. I want you to take 9 steps forward, turn around, 9 steps back. I'm going to show you how you're going to do it, okay? So it's going to look like this. So first, before we do this, left foot on the line. Put your right foot directly in front of your left foot. Heel and toe touching, arms to your side. Do not move. Stay in that position until I tell you to start, okay? You understand?
Okay.
So, when I tell you to start, take 9 steps forward, turn around, 9 steps back. It's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3. Once you get to that 9th step, with your rear foot, I want you to take a series of small steps, turn back around. 1, 2, 3. I'm taking 3, you're going to take 9. When you begin, I want you to keep your eyes on your feet at all times. I want you to count your steps out loud, arms to your side at all times, and once you begin to don't stop until you complete it.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
All right. You may begin.
This is count to 1?
Just as I explained. Look at your feet.
Sorry, I wasn't up until 6.
Okay? Are you done?
Yeah.
Next test I'm going to have you do, turn back around and look at me. I'm going to have you pick either your right or your left, whatever you feel more comfortable with. I want you to raise it about 6 inches off the ground. I want you to look at your toe. Now I want you to count 1,001, 1,002, 1,003 until I tell you to stop. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So arms to your side, raise your foot about 6 inches off the ground, look at your toe and count 1,001, 1,002, 1,003 until I tell you to stop. When I tell you to begin, I want you to keep your eyes on your toe at all times. I want you to count out loud, arms to your side at all times, and keep both legs straight. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay? You may begin.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Arms to your side.
8, 9, 10.
Look at your toe.
You said what?
Look at your toe as you're doing this. Alright, you can stop. Alright, next thing I have you do is maybe provide a breath sample, and this just tells me, you know the legal limit? What is it?
0.8.
0.08, close. You said you had wine, so this is going to kind of give me an idea of where you're at right now, okay?
Okay.
So what you're going to do is you're going to wrap your lips around that straw, take a deep breath in, and have a steady breath out.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, deep breath in, wrap your lips around the straw, and you can blow. 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 Out. Keep going. No. So, wrap your lips around the straw,
I blew out.
and go. Until I tell you to stop. Try it again, don't worry about it. Ready? Deep breath in, blow out. You gotta blow. Keep going.
I'm blowing out.
No, you're not.
Like,
I know what you're doing. So, deep breath in. Out.
yeah.
No, you're not. I'm gonna give you one last chance. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really
blowing
don't mean
out.
this.
I'm promising you.
Okay.
I'm blowing out.
That's fine. Deep breath in. Blow. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. All right. Cool. Turn around. Let me turn around. Go ahead and place your hands behind your back. Separate your feet for me. Obviously, you're wearing a dress. You don't have any pockets. Do you have anything in your waist? What are you wearing underneath your dress?
Underwear?
Underwear. Okay. Do you have anything in your underwear at all? I gotta ask questions. That's all.
No.
Okay. We're gonna have a female officer go to the station, and they can go ahead and search you. I'm just asking those questions because I need to know if you have anything on you. That's all. We'll take you back to the Illinois Police Department, and then we'll talk about exactly what's gonna happen.
Can you grab my purse, please?
I will grab your purse. What else do you want me to grab?
Just the purse.
You have a phone, which
It's
you
in
put
the purse.
in the purse. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's go back to this car.
Illinois takes DUI offenses very seriously. and its laws provide clear guidelines for categorizing and penalizing crimes. Let's break this incident down. Number 1, 625 ILCS 5/11-501. This is DUI, driving under the influence. Is prohibited when a person has a BAC of 0.08 or higher, or is impaired by alcohol, drugs, or intoxicating compounds. This offense is typically a Class A misdemeanor, punishable by up to 364 days in jail, a fine of up to $2,500, a minimum of 1 year driver's license suspension for the first offense. Number 2, 720 ILCS 5/21-1, criminal damage to property. This statute applies when reckless or negligent actions cause property damage. Charges can range from misdemeanors to felonies based on the severity of the damage. Number 3, aggravated DUI. If the wreck had caused great bodily harm or permanent disfigurement, the offense could escalate to a Class 4 felony, carrying from 1 to 3 years in prison or an extended term of 3 to 6 years, and fines up to $25,000. There's also a mandatory driver's license revocation for 2 years. When determining guilt or liability, the legal system uses specific levels of evidence to guide decisions. Let's go through these standards with examples from this incident. Number 1, mere suspicion, a hunch or gut feeling with no substantial evidence. For example, the officer sees the wreck and suspects something might be wrong but doesn't have any concrete evidence just yet. Number 2, reasonable suspicion. This is a specific and articulable fact that suggests criminal activity. For example, the officer smells alcohol on the driver's breath and notices her unsteady movements, prompting the field sobriety test. Number 3, probable cause. This is there's sufficient evidence that a reasonable person would believe a crime has been committed. A good example is the failed sobriety test and a blood alcohol concentration over 0.08 provide probable cause to arrest the driver for DUI. Number 4, preponderance of the evidence. The definition means it's more likely than not, over 50%, that the claim is true. A good example in a civil lawsuit for damages. The evidence shows it's more likely than not that the driver's impairment caused the crash. Number 5, clear and convincing evidence. This is a high likelihood that the claim is true, requiring substantial evidence. Remember, that's about 75% of the evidence points to somebody being liable. For example, to justify enhanced penalties, such as a significant property damage amount, the prosecution must present clear evidence of the extent of the harm, the extent of the damages. Number 6, beyond a reasonable doubt. This is the highest standard, requiring proof so convincing that there's no reasonable doubt of a person's guilt. For example, to convict the driver of DUI, the prosecution must prove her impairment caused the wreck using the BAC results, sobriety test failures, and officer testimony. Think of this scale like a ladder, with each step requiring more substantial evidence. By the time we reach the beyond a reasonable doubt, every rung must be solidly in place to support conviction. This case in Lombard serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of impaired driving. Not only can it lead to criminal charges like DUI, but causing property damage or harm to others can escalate the penalties significantly. Beyond the legal consequences, the driver also faces mandatory restitution for damages and potential civil liability. The takeaway? Don't drink and drive. A single reckless decision can lead to a lifetime of regret. Remember, this is Advocacy Alchemy, and I am Professor Ross. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share your thoughts below, and I'll see you tomorrow. Everyone have a great day.